What a morning. Boy, oh boy. I mean, New Zealand winning the toss, unbelievable favorable conditions for fast bowlers. Neil Wagner, Kylie Jamieson, Tim Southey. I mean, I'm still getting my breath back. I mean, that was one of the most enthralling sessions of Test match cricket. You have the best of conditions with a top bowling attack, an absolute top bowling attack in four fast bowlers who have brought you here. So, ideal conditions for Kane Williamson and his side to have won the toss and, sort of bowled first. Virat also said at the toss that he would have bowled first as well. And once that happened, we were live on India Today, and Rahul Rawat asked me, "So, Buryada, what's your take?" And I'm like, "You just don't want the first half an hour to go against you and be 20 for 2 or 30 for 3, because it has happened with India in the past. It has happened in New Zealand when we went there, and the top order didn't do the job, especially against the new ball. And within the first 10-15 overs, we were into the middle order, and that became a major problem, especially in conditions like this when the ball is constantly moving around. The first few overs, maybe not that kind of movement or exaggerated movement because of the lacquer. And then once the lacquer goes away, something that Sachin Tendulkar was repeatedly saying on Sports Today the other day, once the lacquer goes away, the ball just starts to jag both ways, coming in, moving out, cloudy conditions, grey skies, lights on. Very difficult. Make no mistake, very difficult for batting. This is a real test. And the point is, if you actually see the weather prediction for the rest of the match, every day is supposed to be like this. So it is not as if New Zealand will get the best of batting conditions and the sun will be out and it will be scorchingly hot in Southampton and everything will change. That's not going to happen. So it's going to be tough batting conditions right through, which is all the more reason why if you somehow, if you are able to bat big and bat well in the first innings, half the job is done because you're playing 5 bowlers with 2 spinners. So the 2 spinners will come into the party if you've got some runs on the board. Now, what is this some runs that I'm talking about? So as part of this show, I'm going to decode this. Number 1, losing the toss, batting first, what was India's approach? I'm going to approach that question. I'm going to approach Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill individually. I'm going to approach New Zealand's bowling. And then I'm going to talk about what is the kind of score which will be reasonable for India. How will this, they approach the second session, the third session? What is a decent enough total in the first innings when you're playing 5 bowlers? So let's go one by one. And I will take questions. Let's go one by one. The first point that I want to make, and it's very, very important, is your approach when you've lost the toss. Mentally, all of a sudden, you are told, oh, we've lost the toss. New Zealand's playing 4 fast bowlers. Tim Southey, length, movement. Trent Bolt, ball comes in. Kylie Jamieson, height, movement out, movement in. And of course, Neil Wagner gets the ball to straighten up and also come in. So in every sense, it is an attack, which is a complete attack. And you also have Colin de Grandhomme, who will get the ball to shape out and is an important bowler in the New Zealand scheme of things on a wicket like this. On a wicket where there is exaggerated movement, Colin de Grandhomme will be important. So these are the things which sort of set up the context in which Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma stepped out to bat. Now, imagine the batsman's mindset. You are playing the WTC final. Rohit Sharma. People have questioned you in the past. It is red ball cricket, movement, Trent Bolt bringing the ball in. You've been LBW in the past. You've been a candidate. So all these things. And if you lose an early wicket, if you are not able to blunt out the new ball, if it's 5 for 1, 0 for 1, imagine what was happening in Australia. Prithvi Shaw wasn't able to give us starts. Mayank Agarwal wasn't able to give us starts. Imagine what had happened in England in 2018. We weren't able to get starts. Whether it is with KL Rahul, whether it is with Shikhar Dhawan, we were not able to get starts in England in 2018. Imagine what had happened with South Africa. In South Africa, we weren't able to get starts from the top order. And that is important. So Rohit Sharma's role becomes hugely important. Huge. And that's when I thought it was an innings of pure grit and determination. Rohit Sharma checked himself. He was playing late, trying to go back, taking sort of the ball as late as perhaps possible. And then when he saw Colin the Grantham give him hit, those back foot shots started coming in. I thought it was super. The application was absolutely brilliant from Rohit Sharma. Brilliant. The 34 is worth its weight in gold. Yes, many will say he played on fifth stump, he gave it away after doing all the hard work. But it's not easy. I mean, whole day the ball moves, and it was yes, you can say that why did he play that one? He could have left. It was on fifth stump, and Tim Southee took a beautiful, great catch. But more importantly, what transpired before that for me sets up the Rohit Sharma innings. Tremendous. The application was absolutely magical. He was playing late. He has been a candidate for LBW. Today, if you see the movement, today, if you see where he was planting his foot, all of these things, and you could understand that this man wants to be there for his team, blunt out the new ball, get runs. India not losing a wicket in the first hour was tremendous stuff. Tremendous stuff. One brings two, always the nature of the beast. And from here on, you can still be 100 for 4 or 5. That's England. That's how the conditions are. But the fact is, you have to believe where credit is due, one must give credit. Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, for me, batted outstandingly well. Rohit Sharma, first ball on his legs, clipped for 3, tells you mindset. That he was in that positive frame of mind. If I get the ball in my arc, I will hit it. If I get the ball in my arc and an ability to score, I will score. Outside off, the square shots that he played, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And that positive mindset, I thought rattled New Zealand a bit. The fact that they opted for that review when there was a clear case of an inside edge, they were rattled a bit. They were clearly rattled. And that's what prompted that review, which was clearly done by the excellent partnership put together by Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. Now coming to Shubman Gill, 7 test matches old. People have questioned his spot. Here on Sports Today, several people have said, should we have gone with Mayank Agarwal? Should we have gone with X? Should we have gone with Hanuma Vihari at the top, for example? But the ability which this guy has, I mean, did you see the pull shots? The couple of pull shots that he played. Oh, I mean, the time that fellow has, the ability he has, and the still head each time when he was going to the ball, he was getting to the pitch of the ball. Top act, absolute top act. Yes, he got hit on the visor. The grill saved him. He was perhaps going a bit too far against Kylie Jamieson, if you see. And the host broadcaster was showing the replays of all the balls in that over. Each ball he had stepped out to Kylie Jamieson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was able to meet the pitch of the ball. And maybe you can do that to somebody like a Tim Southee. You can do that to someone like that. Because the ball is pitched up. In more occasions, the ball is pitched up and he will not be short like Kylie Jamieson is. And that was a strong crack. I mean, straight into the visor, straight into the grill, and it was a nasty one. What did Shubman Gill do? Yes, Nitin Patel was out there, the medical representative was out there, all of the Indian medical staff was out there, and the next ball, when it is clearly going to play in your mind, you've just been hit by a top fast bowler, your grill, tuck, you've been hit there. The next ball, he was up to the pitch of the ball, solid forward defensive, solid shot. That tells you how good this guy is. It was an excellent innings. Yes, 28, but to bat for the period that he did, 20 plus overs, 25 overs, it was an excellent effort from Shubman Gill. Now, obviously, we would have wanted him to convert. We would have wanted one down at lunch. We would have wanted one of the two openers to stick on because they had done the hard work. But let us give credit where due. We've got to give credit where due. And Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma were both terrific. You've got to say that. New Zealand came back well. If you see, Williamson was starting to go to all of his bowlers. That review was a bit of a howler. They were starting to feel the pressure, but when a big team and a good team is put under the pump, they deliver and they come back. New Zealand did that. First hour India, second hour New Zealand. First 1.5 rather India, last half New Zealand. And they bowled well. In the last half hour, initially Saudi was wavered, down leg, allowing width, calling the Grantham one bad ball per over. But Kylie Jamieson was on the money, getting the ball to Jagging, getting the ball to move out. Kylie Jamieson was strong, was very, very good, was very, very impressive. And Tim Southey as well. I mean, the last part, the last half an hour, Jamieson outside off, got the edge. Southey, what a take. Full length dive, third slip, beautiful take from Tim Southey. Got New Zealand back in the game, and then one follows two. Always happens in a test match in conditions like this. And Neil Wagner, ball came in and then the ball held its line. Great line, got the edge. BJ Watling picking it up. Tremendous test match. Absolutely cracker of a test match. 70 for 2, India will take that. Virat Kohli, Cheteshwar Pujara, you would want them to bat with the same resolute determination that the openers have shown. You would want the captain to fire that one cover drive. Excuse me. That one cover drive was outstanding. You've got to believe that India, they blunted out the new ball. 25 overs done. So especially at a time when Virat has come in, you would want that the openers have done their job, if you really want to call it. Yes, one would have wanted one of them to fire and go big, and all that is taken. But in conditions like this, one ball will have your number. That's always the case. One ball will have your number. And that happened, but happened pretty late. And India managed to get out of the jail, blunt out that new ball after losing the toss. Now you would want the captain to fire. You would want Virat Kohli to take control. You would want one man to now play a bigger knock, a 70 or 80 kind of knock. Once you do that, this match will be under control. Because if you've lost the toss on conditions like this, you're bowling fourth, and if you are able to get to 300 somehow in your first innings, yes, that's the fourth point. What is the total that I would want India to get to? 300. Somehow get to 300. If you are able to get to 300, you are in business. It's going to be very difficult because post-lunch all day, New Zealand will keep coming. 4 top fast bowlers along with the Colin de Grandhomme. If India somehow gets to 300, it's match on. It becomes advantage India. With this bowling attack, foot marks, everything, softer wicket, there will be foot marks when you land. Ravichandran Ashwin, Ravindra Jadeja, plus your 3 quality fast bowlers. We are in business. We've got to get to 300. But from what we have seen from India so far, they have shown why they are here. They have shown enormous amount of character. That's what one wanted to see. So that's the total one would want from India. On the other hand, there is another game going on in Bristol, and India is doing pretty well. We are 2 down with 154 on the board. Shafali Verma got out for 63, but Sophie Eccleston. Thereafter, Deepti Sharma and Poonam Raut. Wow. Deepti Sharma and Poonam Raut, 11 runs only that India trail by at Bristol. So if you save the innings defeat and then you continue, and obviously Deepti batting on 48 has been tremendous. If you see the first innings also, Deepti Sharma was excellent. Second innings, the kind of application. I tweeted last night and this morning, I wanted fight from the girls, and we are seeing fight from the girls. And that's what you want from your team. Poonam playing her strokes, which is also important because you've got to keep the scoreboard ticking. She's 29 of 66 balls at the moment. You have been able to control the pace of the game. 11 runs. And the moment you've got a lead and you've still got a decent batting attack, you've got wickets in hand, and the collapse shouldn't happen twice in a row. Gradually, if you get to lunch, with just 1 wicket down in the morning, you will start to believe you can save this game. And if India is able to come out of jail, that will be terrific for this team. I mean, there's no debate. There is no debate that could have gone to hand from Poonam Raut, but it did not. You will need a bit of luck. No debate if Indian girls are able to save this one. It will be quite an extraordinary achievement. Let's take some questions. Okay, good evening, Boria sir, Sachin Chaudhary. Yes, hi, Boriada, Shudipto Jidde, Aniket Mukherjee. Boriada, this 21-year-old is all class. Genuinely, Aniket, he is. Akash Jain, what do you think will be a good first innings score? I've told you, I think 300 will be an excellent first innings score, not simply good. If you see my eyesight go down, that's because I've got the women's match on my other phone. Aniket, I've taken that. The Dukes will swing more after 10 overs. Exactly. Rohit should have waited more. Come on, yaar. Come on. I mean, he waited. He was in the over number 18. He did. and he did not chase and play a rank aggressive shot. The ball moved. These things will happen. He's blunted out the new ball. Give credit, Avinash. It is not easy to bat in these conditions. Very, very difficult to bat in these conditions. Where is the question of easy? Pujara solid, absolutely. Varun, we will need Pujara, we will need Virat, everybody. If you see Rohit Sharma done the job, Shubman Gill done the job of blunting out the new ball and playing out the new ball. That's what you would want from the openers. Yes, I would have loved one of them to stay on, but Virat and Pujara and then everyone, Rahane and Pant and Jadeja, all of them, you have to get to 300. You will not get another opportunity. This is not 2 test matches. This is the one-off. Yes, you've lost the toss. But if you get to 300 losing the toss, all the pressure in the world will be on New Zealand. Avinash, third 50 partnership between Gill and Rohit, by far the best. I agree, Avinash. I absolutely agree. This was tremendous. By far the best. You are spot on there. You're spot on. Abhinav Rangarajan, Rohit played well, very well, not simply well. Molay Banerjee, Kamon Acho, yes, Bhalo Achi. Pavan Venkat, Pujara, too cautious. Come on. He's coming 20 minutes before lunch. What do you mean too cautious? At that point in time, you just get on to lunch, move on. I mean, you've lost a couple. You cannot lose another one. You've got to be careful. Each ball is a story. Each ball in test match cricket is a story. And that's what it is. Rahul Singh, 2004 Champions Trophy, all teams winning toss in ICC finals in England have lost the final. मुंह में घी शक्कर Rahul Singh यार, आप जैसे बोल रहे हो ऐसे ही होना चाहिए. Abhinav Rangarajan, Rohit, you beauty. True, the 5 overs from Jamieson. Rohit didn't play a single ball. 5.1 got him out. Yeah, I mean, it will happen. It will happen. I mean, you know, no one's a magician. I mean, he did his best. And that innings, I will rate it very, very highly. The 34 of 68 got India off on a condition or on a wicket which is helping the bowlers. In conditions, helping the bowlers. Movement, swing, Duke's ball, top act. Samaksh Gupta, Boria, the approach of Rohit and Shubman were just super. You're so right. They both controlled the match. Was awesome. Samaksh, you're spot on, Samaksh. Absolutely correct. DK, the commentator, yes, DK was very good, especially when he was describing that Shubman dive. When he was describing that if I was half the, you know, if I was there, I'm half the size, I wouldn't have got in. So there was humor, there was ability. When he was describing the pull shot, he started talking about the way Virat and Shubman plays the short ball. Was very impressive from DK. Himadri Chaudhary, was Wagner brought in late? I mean, this is their pattern. They have always got him late because they go to Colin the Grandham, especially when the ball is moving. And here the ball is moving a lot. And the Grandham has that ability for that banana. The only thing is he's 75 and Rohit took toll. So maybe in hindsight you can say Wagner was brought in late, but that's what they've done. Himadri, I've answered that. Kohli, come on. Kohli Kapia is the greatest batsman that this planet has seen in current times. It's as simple as that. Chiran Test, Shubman played the first 5 overs. Rohit got out the first ball. Yeah, but that is not the point. The point is he bowled well. Kylie Jamieson was asking questions and got that. Result चाहिए 30-40 बना के out होना पड़ेगा. What are you talking, Omkar? Talk sense, man. Rohit played very good at the end of the day. 10 for 2 se acha, obviously. I mean, they have done enormous. That was tremendous application at that point in time. Okay, Samaksh, I've taken that. Shubman, is it a drawn session? Yes, I would say 2 down. New Zealand, obviously has managed to come back, but 70 for 2, losing the toss. If you went and asked India, India would take it. So for me, that's India's session, maybe 55-45 India, because in that session, that weather, that bowling attack, such kind of conditions, it's as English as Nasir Hussain said it can possibly get. India could have well been 4. So I would say the openers were spectacularly good. Yes, New Zealand came back, nullified the advantage had it been won decisively India. Now it's 55-45, but I'll still give it to India. Deepti Bhaskar, Rohit and Gill played well. Pujara and Virat, take it forward, won't be easy. 200% believe. Absolutely, Deepti, absolutely it won't be easy. But when has it been easy and you have scripted history and lore and become the best in the world? You want to be the world's best, the world champion. So how can a world champion team have it easy? It can never be easy, isn't it? It can't. Rohit and Gill played well. Okay, I think I've taken plenty more questions, man. Can't keep going. I've done a pretty longish show. I'm as excited as you guys are. I'm as pumped as you guys are. And the women's game, 156 for 2. Deepti Sharma 48, Poonam Rao 31, 53 overs. So still quite a bit to go for the new ball. If they go into lunch, which is 10 more minutes, with just one down, they will start to believe. Okay, they just trail by 9 runs, the Indians, as long as they are able to. As long, Trisha, can you hear me now? There was a phone call. Anyway, I was about to finish my show. So, anyway, I was about to finish. Fingers crossed for the girls. Just get the 9 runs. Get into the lead. Get into the lead. I tweeted today, big day for India, men and women, and we wanted to see fight. We have seen fight. Let's see fight for the rest of the 4.5 hours. Because if we are able to see that, the women will save the match. The men will be in business and take control. Fingers crossed for Indian cricket, men and women, for the rest of the 4.5 hours. Thank you very much for coming on Sports Today, asking your questions. Keep following us, keep supporting us, keep supporting the Indian team, men and women. England has just missed a run out in the women's game. Will happen. The pressure will also mount on Heather Knight's team. That's how the cookie crumbles. Thanks very much for being on Sports Today.